Welcome to episode 4 of Guild Ball Gotchas, where we take a look at the most powerful plays and combinations and teach you how to play around them. Before we get into the episode, I want to point you to my Patreon. For just $5 a month, you can get Guild Ball Gotchas a month before everyone else. This week we are covering 3 incredibly powerful character plays: Lure, Seduced, and Puppet Master. These are powerful control abilities that allow your opponent to take control of your pieces and do all manner of things with them. It can often feel like you have no control over this, but in fact there are quite a few ways to work around these plays. Puppet Master allows Obulus to force another model, friend or foe, to make a jog, pass, or attack. Puppet Master is largely used on opponents, but in some rare instances can be used to increase goal threat. Lure allows your opponent to make a model jog directly toward the mini that used Lure. Seduced allows your opponent to take control of one of your players and either make a pass or attack with them. Seduced is also the only one of these plays that is triggerable on the playbook. In our first example, we are looking at a situation with alchemists playing against morticians, with access to both Lure on Cosset and Puppet Master on Obulus. Harry activates and throws a Molotov, then later in the turn, Cosset uses Lure to pull him out of position. Then Obulus activates and Puppet Masters Harry in deeper. Obulus then builds some momentum with his remaining influence. Midas then takes his goal, snaring a few players in the process. With the last activation of the turn, the Mortician's player put more damage into Harry with Casket, and is able to win the momentum race by a significant margin. Going first the next round, the Mortician's player is able to heavy burden Midas, and take out Harry, on top of putting Harry in the box. So there are a few ways to play around this that every team has access to. First, if the Mortician's player wants to lure a specific player, activate them as late as you can afford to, so that when they lure them, you can sprint them back away. Second, most new players don't realize this, but when the opponent is jogging your model, it is considered friendly to them. This allows you to take parting blows at your own models. This is very useful when your models have easy access to knockdown. So if Harry in our example had been within an inch of Catalyst, Cat could have knocked him down, preventing him from being forcibly overextended. The third way you can control Lure is to use the ball. This can be a bit risky as it places the ball in dangerous locations, but you can pass the player that was just lured and have them dodge back 4 inches, hopefully out of danger. Some teams have specific answers that allow you to move your own models outside activation. These are abilities like Lure of Gold on Midas, Snowball on Scatha, or Tidal Surge on Shark. Our second example is Obulus using Puppet Master to take Midas' turn 1 goal away from him. It starts with Obulus kicking off, a few unimportant activations happen, and then Crucible kicks the ball to Midas and he dodges forward. Obulus activates. He uses Shadow Light to move towards Midas. Obulus then uses Puppet Master on Midas, it hits, and he has Midas passing the ball. After the successful pass, Obulus passes the ball to Cosset, then jogs back to his team. Here the Mortician's player has successfully taken Midas' turn 1 goal off the table. An easy way to deal with this is to have Midas engaged with multiple friendly players during the turn where he is exposed. This tactic works because during the pass, Midas is friendly to the Mortician's player, so the 2 other players remove dice from Midas so that he will only roll 1 die. Another important factor to keep in mind is that Obulus is fairly fragile, and you need to force him to overextend to use Puppet Master. Ideally, we want him to have to spend his jog to get to Midas, so he can't just safely walk away. In our final example, we are looking at a fish game, where the fish player is kicking off with Siren. Harry grabs the ball and kicks it to Naja, then Naja dodges backwards. This is a very strong play since Naja's kick is only 4-inch range, with 1 die. Siren has to get super close and is very unlikely to be able to use momentous teamwork actions to be able to get back to safety. If you are able to play a team that is not striking focused, leaving the ball on a mascot is a very powerful play. In this same vein, another very simple way to play around Seduced is to unsnap the ball. Siren can't make you pass the ball if you don't have it. These abilities are incredibly difficult to play around, but at the core of counterplay is forcing the opponent to overextend their players so that they will have to let you kill them. With careful positioning, you can punish the opponent for taking control of your models. I hope you have found this episode helpful. If you did, you can help me on Patreon, where donations as little as $1 help this channel grow. Subscribe to this channel to know the moment I post new videos. Hit that like button, it helps other Guild Ballers find this video. In the comments down below, let me know if I missed any key counterplays against Puppet Master, Lure, or Seduced, and let me know what gacha you'd like me to cover next. My name is Vincent Curkov, and this has been Guild Ball Gachas.